Hey, this is President Trump, and this is the part of the ad that's been running for a while, and I've missed it a couple times. Here goes.
When I took the oath of office, I swore to protect our country. And that is what I will always do. So help me God.
Is that? As senior advisor to the Trump campaign, you obviously have some internal data. What is it telling you about how the president's base is responding? You have a big job to grow the president's base as well. What is it showing you?
Well, I will tell you, the day of his Oval Office address, we raised the most money. We raised $1.5 million online that I think we've raised in 2 years. So, I mean, that tells you right there the people are behind this president. In our opinion, I think we are really seeing that the people that voted for the president are sticking behind him, and data shows that. But I will tell you, going out to dinner with my husband, people come up to us, people, by the way, who have government jobs, who have not been paid, and they say, tell him to stand strong, tell him not to back down, because they understand the importance of this too.
Meanwhile, Kirsten Gillibrand, Beto O'Rourke, just some of the one-time moderate Democrats that seem to be moving farther and farther to the left. What are we seeing happening there, and how are you preparing for that for 2020?
Well, I think that's going to be very bad for them, honestly. I think the country does not want to see socialism come into play, and you're seeing that with a lot of these candidates. Ocasio-Cortez, who has become the darling of the Democrat Party. And I think when you see people getting so far left and so extreme, I think it's going to turn people off from the Democrats. And I think that's why in 2016, we did see a lot of Democrats leaving, coming on board to vote for Donald Trump as Republicans. I tend to think you're going to see more of that if these people keep going left, but let them keep doing it.
The field is growing. Just throw up the screen here. 2020 Democrats that are women running for president. Gillibrand, Warren, Harris, Gabbard, Klobuchar. I mean, this is a big field that continues to grow. I just wonder how the president feels about that before I move on to our last.
We welcome them all to get out. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they all fight initially in their primaries, and I'm very curious to see how all that goes. It's a lot of people. There's going to be a lot being thrown around, but the president welcomes it.
What's going to be the biggest issue for women's issues in the 2020 campaign?
You know, I tend to think something like this border wall, like women knowing that the country is a safer place. They feel better about the future for their families, for their kids, their kids' children one day. To me, as a mom, that's something that I think about constantly. The fact that we have female unemployment at one of the lowest levels it's ever been in the history of this country should be a very big deal to everyone. And listen, as a woman, you can't ignore those things. I think they're really important.
All right, I got to ask you about the big news of the morning. It's hard to miss this BuzzFeed report on Michael Cohen, that the president directed Michael Cohen reportedly to lie to Congress.
Yeah.
How is the campaign responding to that this morning?
I will tell you, I think Michael Cohen is a
around. We about to go out to eat because
he holds no water whatsoever. We've seen that he perjured himself in the past. It's ridiculous. It's all made up, and I always say the truth will come out with these things, and I think you will see the truth come out, and I think, sadly, Michael Cohen is a fraud, and he's trying to get his last couple minutes of fame.
The president's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, responding with a statement to that BuzzFeed report saying this: if you believe Cohen, I can get you a great deal on the Brooklyn Bridge. Counsel to the president, Rudy Giuliani.
Absolutely.
This morning. Great.
So there you are, the campaign manager for Trump, his daughter-in-law, I believe, coming up and answering some interesting questions on Fox News. Looks good for 2020.